everybody, I'm returning to the Evercade with Gaelco Arcade 1, which as always comes with a nice full color manual. Every game gets a couple pages of coverage in this one and a little bit of history about Gaelco, a Spanish arcade company that's also famous for its dartboards, its electronic dartboards. Let's go ahead and take Gaelco Arcade 1, pop it in my VS, and see how the games hold up today. Let's go to the games. Gaelco Arcade 1 is cartridge 3 of the Purple Boxed Arcade series. Amazon gives it a release date of February 25th, 2022 here in the States. Amazon did not have it in stock at the time of this review, but Best Buy did at the standard $19.99 price point. This cartridge contains the following 6 games. I will list the games in order, starting with my least favorite, working my way up to my most favorite. Snowboard Championship is the first game, which despite being the most modern game on the collection is also my least favorite. It's a beat-the-clock snowboarding course game that uses a single button to accelerate. It features some digitized characters, but I found the camera a little too zoomed in to properly plan ahead. The game is a bit repetitive and hard to control at times, and too similar to another game on this collection, which I will get to later on. Next is 1992's Thunder Hoop. This feels like a generic platformer with floaty controls and a character that seems to be a ripoff of Goku from Dragon Ball Z. It does have a good number of levels and boss fights, but it also feels more like a console game, as dying can send you back to a checkpoint or back to the beginning of a boss fight. I didn't get much entertainment from this one. World Rally from 1993 is one of their more popular games, and it was even distributed by Atari to American arcades. Very similar to Snowboarding Championship, you have a screen that's a little too zoomed in for my taste and a single button to accelerate, but I actually had some fun with World Rally and found it controlled better than its younger cousin. Blast, the next game, a unique game where you clear bricks while shooting bad guys and facing bosses. The original game had a boys mode where you could uncover pictures of men in Speedos, or a girls mode where you could apparently uncover pictures of topless women, or skimpily clad anime girls when the game went to Korea. This version has replaced the women with silhouettes and the men with random drawings. The game itself is actually a refreshing change of pace from your typical arcade title and mildly entertaining to play. The next game is 1994's Alligator Hunt, a Cabal-like behind-the-back shooter. It features some of the best graphics on this collection, decent controls, and a nice variety of levels and bosses. The only downside is the action can feel a little repetitive at times, but this game still gets a thumbs up and would most likely be even better with a second player. The final and my favorite game on this collection is 1995's Biomechanical Toy. Similar to Thunder Hoop, this run-and-gun platformer feels more like a console game than an arcade title, with death sending you back to checkpoints. But as a game, I actually found it the most entertaining title of the bunch. I enjoyed the action, the variety of power-ups, and the mix of enemies. It's not a top-tier title. As a matter of fact, there are similar games on the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis that are much better, but it's still a fun game to play. And I recommend you give this game a go if you try out this collection. Additionally, this cartridge can be used to unlock 2 additional titles on the Evercade VS when paired with a specific second cartridge. Putting Gaelco Arcade 1 and Gaelco Arcade 2 together in the VS will unlock the arcade light gun game, Bang. The setup of the game, which typically has you shooting so many targets within a time limit, offers a nice variety, but the controls are horrible when using the VS controller, most likely since this was a light gun game. The cursor simply cannot move accurately enough and quick enough to meet most of the goals. Pairing Gaelco Arcade 1 with Indie's Heroes Collection 1 unlocks the NES-style homebrew Arcade Rush. As a single player, you control 2 characters trying to pull out boards of damaged arcade games, clean them up, clean the cabinet, reinsert the board, and power back on while other arcade games break down. I'm sure it works better as a multiplayer game, but as a single player game, I simply had a difficult time trying to juggle everything and didn't really enjoy it. But hey, I guess that's what bonus games are for. Family-friendly wise, the game received a PEGI rating of 12 and contains women in revealing and tight-fitting attire in the game glass. So what I think of Gaelco Arcade 1? First, let me say I appreciate collections like this one that contain obscure games I've never played before, so the retro gaming fan in me overall approves. However, the games themselves, while unique and obscure, do kind of have a second-rate feel to them. That's not saying I can't enjoy them to a degree. I definitely wouldn't mind putting a little more time into Glass, Alligator Hunt, and Biomechanical Toy. It's just that this is one of those collections that I probably won't put nearly the amount of time I would into some other collections like those from Technos or Data East. So if you like obscure stuff, I say get it, but if you're looking for something that will get a ton of replay value, I'd say look elsewhere. So where am I going to rank Gaelco Arcade 1? I am looking near the bottom. I will give Pico 2 an edge at 13 simply for games like Top Gear 2 and Football Madness, but I will give this an edge over Morph Cat Games 1 as this collection does give me just a little bit more replay value than that one. So the 15 games are now ranked for the Evercade. Gaelco Arcade 1 is starting out at the 14th position. Gaelco Arcade 1 offers 6 unique games with a somewhat short shelf life. But that's just what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Also, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, support the show at patreon.com/KnowsWhereGamer, and click the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time in the next episode of the Know Where Gamer. Take care, everyone.